What is up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to cover the last couple months. I think this is pretty much like end of March, beginning of April through first week of May, and it totals over $690,000 in fresh credit funding. It's pretty crazy, actually. So let's dive into it. This you're going to see on the screen is actually an email that will get sent out and coincide essentially with this video. Some people read the emails, some people just watch the videos. So I figured, hey, we're going to share this on both. Now, some of this end of March, April stuff, we actually did in a video that was the 230K in fresh credit funding video. So bear with me as I breeze through that, and then we get into some of the fresh stuff. And then also too, I've got some screenshots which I don't think I showed you in the last video. I'm gonna show you in this video as well. And then obviously all the recent stuff. And we're actually still gathering some data. Okay, so first you remember this one. I've got this tagged out pretty generically now, doing even more to keep people anonymous. I just don't really want to be involved with negative adverse action that could happen with people, or just something like that pops up. So I really am trying to filter down and block people's personal information. So anyways, we've just got them tagged out as community member, but obviously if you join the Discord, these people are sharing this stuff openly in the Discord channels. And so you would be able to, figure out who's who. If you really wanted to, just know that this stuff's real, okay? These are people in the trenches, as they call it. So let's dive in. Pretty crazy. I actually think this might be our best like 60-ish day spurt ever. Yeah, I don't think there's been a better time bracket like that. 60-day period like that. Okay, so we got a 30K BLOC and a $20,000 credit card. You've seen the rates there, 13.9% at Tower FCU. They're no longer a double dip, by the way, 0% for 12 months, just as FCU. Asked for pay stubs, which is pretty standard. I think just the last couple as well. So you can see here, EQ is at 774 at the time. Inquiries is 123 open accounts, stated income over 100,000, 4+ years average age of account. So yeah, average age of account matters way more. We've really harped on that this last like 6-8 months or so, because I think people are like forgetting that fact. They think that, oh, we'll just put a high stated income and that fixes everything. You got no comparable credit, they got no history, they got no nothing, but they think that, high 6-figure income will just save them from all that. It doesn't, okay? So anyway, more on that in another video maybe. Next, this was actual dedicated app spree. This was one of the community members. You can see that there. This we highlighted in the video. So basically, they got a flagship denial, then they went into Langley, got denied. Recon got a 14K BLOC. Been with them about 4 months. Alliant 10K Visa credit card. They did a TransUnion hard pull, 6-month-old account. BOA next, 20K, unlimited cash rewards. I like that. Then he got 2 auto loan approvals. One was through Navy Fed, which the beautiful thing about Navy Fed is they'll send you the check the next day. Also too, they aren't as strict on like what paperwork and what you need to show them as proof. For example, with PenFed, you need to show them, photos of the odometer sometimes. They got to see the sticker on the car, stuff like that. Navy Fed, not really like that. DCU is what he ended up going with. He ended up keeping that one, and I believe they bumped him up to 75K instead of 55K. So that I never covered in the last video. Navy Fed Cash Rewards got a 6K CLI, which the most they're still giving out for a credit limit increase is 8,000. So 6K is really good. Finish it off with a signature FCU 15K Visa Sig Points credit card. Not bad. Not bad. That's a solid app spree. Okay, next. I don't think I put this in the last video. In fact, I know I didn't. This one slipped through. This was done, I think, April 21st. So we're getting towards like the tail end of April now. And this was an Amex BLOC for 150K. Now, here's what's interesting. The Amex BLOC will go up to 250K. So kind of playing around with this. And this is like some super inside baseball. So I don't even know if this is like true or not, but obviously you're reading it on the screen and I put it in the email. So he drew 110,000 and he's only getting charged 7% on that, by the way. So that's 7,000 in fees. That's not bad for 6 months. And he's going to try and see like if I can just do 1 or 2 draws, and then they'll bump you up to the max 250K. I don't even know if that's like the real max, or if any of this is real with how, working yourself up to get higher draws. It seems like it is. If you look at other capital providers, if you just look at how your credit cards work, right? You get a starting limit and then you go and use it and you pay a bunch and you pay it down, and you've got active frequent payments as well as keeping utilization low. What happens? They give you a credit limit increase. Same theory here. Again, I don't know if any of this is true, so I'm just being transparent about that. So anyways, 150K BLOC, which is fantastic. Next, this was an app spree, and I'm not sure if it's done yet. There's a whole lot more to talk about with this. I've got a dedicated video that will be dropping on this one. Chase started as a 10K, got bumped up to 30K with Recon for the Business Inc., I think it was. It was one of the Inc. cards. Next was Amex Blue Business Card, which is a charge card. Spending power of just 2,000, which you're like, man, that's pretty low, and I would agree. You gotta understand there's a settlement on this account, all paid off and handled properly, but it was, I think, a deferred payment through COVID that had occurred. And so just to get back into the ecosystem and get a fresh approval is huge. And if you look, what came next was a personal Amex Blue for 20K. That tells you that we're right on track where we need to be with Amex. And so we can build up up this spending power, spending limit with Amex by just using it, paying it, using it, paying it. Next thing you know, it's 5, then 10, then 15, and 100, 200, whatever. These are all personal now. So Amex 20K BOA cash rewards, which they've got I think a $46,000 card with them already. So they've got collectively, this was an app spree that happened, I think I was wrong. I don't think it's 6 to 8 months. I think it's more like 8 to 12 months ago. We shot a video about it. It was, I think, $491,000 in credit. Coming back to the well for, what is this, almost another 100. Cash rewards, 13K. Discover IT, just your standard Discover IT card, 10K. And then Citibank double cash, 8,200. So these in order tells you that they're exhausting out personal, right? So I'd love to see these APRs as well, because this kind of tells you that you're like at the end of the limit, because these limits are going down, 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 right? And like we're starting to get $8,000 limits. It's like, okay, we're probably at the end. On the personal side, a lot more to be squeezed out on the business side, but scores are just around 800, I think. Utilization, I think is a little bit high. I think it's in a 20%, 20 something percent. So again, all that being said, good AOA, I believe it's north of 4 years. And so yeah, this is good for that. Next, these last three, we covered this in the last video. A Langley FCU, 10K, and a credit card and a 15K PLOC, 708 was the Equifax scores. Chase Business Unlimited, 4.5 thousand starting limit, low 700 scores. Had the Inc. Biz Cash for 2 years. So to get a second card, that's a bit low, but maybe there's something else that we don't know there. Cap One Venture X, 10K starting limit, 29.24%, 813 credit score on Experian. Now, here's the new stuff. 20K, Chase CSP. What's great about this is this person was trying to get into Chase, not trying, but waiting to get out of the garden for a long time. I think like the last couple of years, been talking about Chase. Okay, that's gonna be my next venture. Been with Amex for over 20 years. So yeah, been wanting to get in Chase since like 2005. He has a rock solid profile. I think the average age of account is at least 7 years, if not more, and maybe it's 8, 9, 10 years. Crazy thick profile. Been 100K plus earner for, the last 20 years type deal. 800 plus credit scores. On a profile like this, basically the banks will pull their pants down for you, give you whatever you want. Okay, so absolute stellar profile. 20K, great starting limit, okay? Okay, the next one was, they saw a crazy Rakuten bonus on Doctor of Credit, which you gotta remember, you can stack the Rakuten bonus on top of your cashback using your cards, making purchases through different sites online, as well as getting approvals and getting subs. It does not take away from the sub, it just stacks on top. So you can actually start to get crazy deals with some of this Rakuten stuff. I don't think enough people around the world, well, especially in the United States, are using Rakuten. Okay, so there's a Rakuten offer for 300 or 30,000 MRs points, and then there is the standard sub, which is 100,000 points through Chase. They got both. So because of that, they said, hey, I'm gonna jump on this, pull the trigger. Got approved for 14,500 at 28.24% APR, which is pretty good. They got a double pull. They got Experian and TransUnion, which you hear from time to time, right? Like, hey, I got actually double pulled through Chase. It's not like across the boards. It seems to be some sort of geo thing, I'm not sure. Some people get it, some don't. They were 424 at the time. Experian was 752 and TransUnion was 770. So that was that one. Okay, and then the next one that I'm still gathering data on is they got 100K collectively through First Tech, which is pretty crazy because First Tech was pretty cooked for a while. It looks like they're starting to open the doors back up, as well as a couple other credit unions that I won't talk about in this video. But yeah, they got a credit card first at 10K, and I think they got a 20K PLOC, and then they got a fat car loan. And so super nice. They were working with them. They kept bugging them basically and seeing if he wanted more. All this came about because he was playing around with Zells. So I think he took about 10,000, he said, and he was just playing the Zell game, sending money to himself over and over and over again, week after week after week. And next thing you know, they're willing to give him a pretty large bag. And then here we go at the bottom is the 94,700 credit app spree, which I'll have this broken down in a detailed video that'll also be launched on the channel. But if my math is correct, all of that is 691,900 with the changes and edits to the car loan and not counting the 50K pre-approval from Navy Fed. But yeah, regardless, over $600,000 is absolutely ridiculous. But it proves a few things, like we're talking about, is credit changing? Is credit funding changing? And yeah, while something big might happen this year coming down the pipe, and a lot of different people are talking about that, maybe, but right now the going's still good, right? The getting still good. So we might as well keep going. All I want is from these videos is for it to act as a motivator, these emails, sharing this information with you guys, hopefully to help get you smarter and really to show you what's possible. You can live your own version of the American dream, whatever that is for you. Credit funding is a tool. Use it as that. Don't let it change you and turn you into more of a jerk or ruin your life. It definitely can. Again, it's just a tool just like anything else, but there's still plenty to go out there and get. If you're a beginner like this one here, 94,000, first time doing it. They just follow videos on the channel. They join the Discord. Like, this stuff is not that hard. You don't have to be a pro. Even pros, I see, still making mistakes. We're not trying to get it perfect, but if we get it right enough, we just keep going back to the well every 6, 8, 12 months. It stacks up, it adds up, and it puts us in position to win. Then we can go out and chase the side hustles, the real estate deals, or whatever we're trying to do to expand our own personal empires. But it all starts with credit funding. And it's, like I said, I can't state enough. There's nothing like this else in the world. The credit system that exists in America is just stupid. It's stupid. That's why so many people abuse it. That's why so many people want to come to America from other countries. It's rife with abuse. The credit system is because it is that good. And it is that stupidly simple that they give out money right, left, and center. Okay. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And while you're here on the channel, watch more videos. It really does a lot for us. You know, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff tells YouTube this is a good channel, and it helps us even just get more notifications to our own existing audience that are already subscribed. All that crazy stuff, algorithm based, you know it. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next one.